you enjoy bird watching at all, you can come down here, Terrace Park, and check out the Heron Rookery. The best time is really April, May. Those herons come in. There's not any leaves on the trees yet. The bird watching there is phenomenal. The great blue heron is the largest North American heron. They stand about 4 feet tall and their wingspan is over 6 feet. Despite their impressive size, they weigh only 5 to 6 pounds, thanks in part to their hollow bones, which is a feature all birds share. Back in early May, I shot some video of this very active colony.
The activity that you saw was most likely they were active, either building nests or actively feeding young. It's hard to say for sure. Most likely what you were seeing were birds bringing food to their young.
Great blue herons primarily eat small fish. They can hunt day and night thanks to a high percentage of rod-type photoreceptors in their eyes that help improve their night vision. Great blue herons fall into a category called colonial birds.
So a colonial water bird, or any kind of colonial species, is a bird that will they kind of nest in sometimes really tight colonies like a heronry, or sometimes a bit more dispersed. But for a heron, that's what we kind of have as a classic example of a colonial bird, in this case a colonial water bird. And there are a lot of reasons that they do that. Probably the main one is that safety in numbers.
How long does it take the incubation period once they lay eggs?
It takes a little longer for bigger birds. So, your typical songbird that you'd find in your yard, like a robin, it only takes them a couple weeks to incubate their eggs, whereas a bigger bird like a great blue heron takes a little bit longer. You're getting closer to a month there.
So then what is the parenting structure like?
Both parents participate. They did have different roles in nest building, but both of them participate in feeding the young.
Is this kind of the end of the breeding season for them?
Yeah, we're getting close to the point where you're just going to, the nest across the state will not be active anymore, and there'll be just young birds out across the landscape.
The good news is that there are still herons on the islands, and you can still see them as they go about their business. By the end of June, all the young will have fledged, and the herons will disperse to wander throughout the region. Since they dine on small fish, the herons here will migrate south for the winter, some going as far as the Caribbean. But if the colony had good success with their hatch, they'll return next spring to these same islands in the Mississippi around March or April to begin the breeding process all over again. On the shores of the Mississippi at Terrace Park in Minneapolis, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.